So I'm super, super excited to announce our next speaker, who's going to be our closing keynote speaker. When I was talking about Andrea, the people that I've really been following since the beginning, she is one of those people. And I'm sure she doesn't remember this, but the first year I met her at Social Media Marketing World, and I remember walking up to her and being like, so super excited to meet her, and we were actually wearing the same color shirt, so we, of course, had to take pictures together. So anyway, one of the things that yes?
She's got a rearranged presentation, so take
Oh, okay. Sorry, that just, I'm not sure how long, we're having presentation technical difficulties, I believe. So anyway, She's an amazing, amazing person. And one of the things that I really love about her is that she's so authentic and genuine. It really is you get what you see from her. She actually is the author of Will the Real You Please Stand Up, Be Authentic, and Prosper in Social Media. Not sure how close we are. We could have a dance while we're working on the slides. Are we? We could call Andrea back up here. She is also one of the world's most retweeted among digital marketers. She's a renowned marketing strategist, keynote speaker, and international best-selling author of multiple books. She is a great trainer. I've actually seen her multiple times at Social Media Marketing World, and every time I come away with tons of great tips and tricks and things that you can implement in your business immediately. Forbes has named her as one of the top 10 social media power influencers. She's actually coming to us today all the way from Tampa, Florida. So she doesn't actually win the who traveled the furthest contest because of Johnny. I don't know. Are we good? No, it's all good. So I do want to just tell a little bit more background about how we. So when I was planning this, with the social media shenanigans, and Joel and I were talking about who we should have as our special guest. And I noticed that there was a trend of it only being men that he invited, because it was Ted Rubin, Chris Brogan, Pat Flynn, and I said, we need to have a woman, right? So we decided that we would see if Kim was available, and she said yes. So please welcome to the stage, Kim Garst.
Thank you. Whoa. I'll try not to blow your ears out. So who's awake? All right. So everybody's still awake. All right. Sorry for the little snafu on the front side here, guys. I'm like, that's not the right presentation. We've already talked about Facebook Live. We're going to talk about Facebook Live again, but only as a bigger part of the picture. So excited to be here. I did a little bit of double duty. I have my oldest son is stationed in Colorado Springs. He's with 10th Special Forces Group. So I was able to see him while I was here, which is amazing. So that was awesome. There is not near as much humidity here as there is in Tampa, which has also been amazing. So we're going to talk about the art of Facebook marketing, specifically more about what's working now. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Kim Garst. I wrote a best-selling book about what a lot of people have been talking about while we have been here over the course of the day, which is authenticity. Will the real you please stand up? It is the secret sauce, guys. It's the place where you start. If you can't show up and be who you are, you're probably going to struggle in social media. So it's a critical piece of success. So what's working now on Facebook? I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Facebook changes things up like maybe, once a year or once a day. I don't know. I think it's once a day. But they're constantly changing. They are the elephant in the room, though. They just announced 2 billion end users. That's a lot of folks. And I guarantee you, if you are in business, which you probably are, you wouldn't be here, your ideal client is absolutely probably there. And bigger than that, obviously there's a lot of end users on Facebook, but I think the interesting part about Facebook is they're innovating probably faster than any of the other social platforms. And in spaces where it's kind of intriguing to me, how they're stepping into spaces to dominate in play. Like when Periscope came on the scene, everybody's like, well, Facebook's behind. And now, Facebook has kind of taken a lot of the wind out of Periscope sales, I think. Not all, but I think Periscope's still ultimately going to have a place. I wish, hopefully, Twitter at some point will just stop calling it Periscope and say it's Twitter Live, but I guess we'll see. But every piece of content that you share, and I thought I would start with content because at the root of it, on any social platform, that's where your success is going to start. So every piece of content that you share on social media has the ability to create future sales. And that's one of the things I think that sometimes we don't think about. We share something on social media and you don't understand that lots of times people remember that. Like I think Mike, it was when I first met him, he knew a lot of stuff about me that I'm like, he's like, that's a little weird, isn't it? And I'm like, that's a little weird. But, we share a lot of things and we don't even realize how much of it is consumed by people who pay attention. So every piece of content is important. Content is king. It starts with content. You have to have great content. But the true value, in my opinion, is the engagement. What happens after you have put that great content out there? You have to talk to people. You can't just put content out there and not engage with people. So engagement is queen. And successful social media marketing, guys, isn't built on the impressions. I know we get wrapped up in the numbers and how many likes and how many followers and how many shares, but the reality of it is people buy from people they know, like, and trust. It's all about those relationships. So what's getting the most engagement on Facebook these days? I think this is fascinating, and there's big opportunity. It's not just live video, it's video across the board. So video is getting 3 times what a general link is going to get for you, and 2 times photos when it comes to engagement. That's a lot. I mean, that's a big, big difference. So it's not just live video. You can share any kind of video. How many of you guys are creating video text quotes? Anybody? They're huge as well. So I noticed somebody shared Legend earlier. Adobe Post has got a great platform. Canva now has some animation. If you have, I think it's work. I think you have to have the Canva work version. But it's all going to animation. It's all going to movement because it draws eyeballs, and that's a biggie. So video is getting, and this is something I really want you guys to pay attention to. Even though video is getting 3 times the engagement, look at how many people are actually doing it. So do you guys see an opportunity here? Yeah, so there's a big opportunity. Sound. We got to, sorry, can we get sound on this? Okay. It's everywhere. I'll do it again. Live video is everywhere. Facebook is disrupting television and video. I know Joel talked about this and the predictions he has for what live video is ultimately going to turn into. We're already seeing it, obviously. I was going to play this because just a few minutes of it, or just a minute of it anyway, Joel had it in his, because if we got audio, yeah, I don't know if we've got the audio. Yes, Joel did a great job. But this makes people laugh every time. I know how many of you guys have actually saw it in real life or, on your Facebook or whatever? Yes. It's amazing how I don't know, there's just something infectious about this lady, right? And she's just so real. I can't even, I'm like, wow, I wish I'd have thought of that. How many of you guys have, right? Wish I'd have thought of that. But, and the funny part is, she really didn't intend for this to go viral. She was just doing her thing, right? But the beautiful part about this is that, look at the numbers on this. And this is probably a couple of months old. 166 million views, 2 million likes, 16K comments, 3.3 million shares. Wow, right? Incredible. And, a lot of people are starting shows. Mario Armstrong has the Never Settle show. There's a ton of people, that are literally creating their own TV channels, essentially. So we all have that opportunity to do exactly the same thing using live video. So it's time to wake up and smell the Facebook Live coffee, people. I'm just saying. It's the best way to build your tribe. I've never seen, I don't know if you guys have been on social for any length of time, but you know that it takes time, right? It takes time to build traction. It takes a lot of content. It takes a lot of engagement. The beautiful part about live video is people get a chance to see you. They know in 2 hot seconds whether they like you or not, and then they ultimately get to know you and trust you and ultimately create, you have an opportunity to create sales. Why is that important today on Facebook? Where did your fans go? How many of you guys are having trouble getting in front of your fans, your Facebook fans? It's a problem. And Facebook fans who see your content today, you're lucky if you get a 2%. Like, if you have 1,000 fans, how many of those are really ultimately seeing your content? Very few of them. Live reach is 10 times what traditional other types of content like Facebook post images, live video post, 10 times the reach. Now, Facebook Live, when they first started, was pushing a lot of reach to us when we were live. So the deal was, hey, if you stay live as long as you can, or at least a certain percentage of, or a little bit, don't go live for 2 minutes because it's not going to do you much good, is what I'm saying. But now they've cut back a little bit on it, but it's still more than if you were to post a photo or a link, etc., because they want that content to be seen more, because video is a big part of what they're moving towards. They've been very open about that. In fact, they'll tell you this. They were very public about it. Oops, went the wrong way. So, did you guys know you can set up a YouTube channel on your Facebook page? Is that pretty cool? So the content lives on Facebook, which is pretty amazing. Have a sip of this before I start coughing on you guys. The other amazing thing, or maybe drawback, maybe this is a drawback for Colorado, is you get dry really quick. But like I say, your content can live on. You have a unique URL for every piece of content that all of your live videos. So you can drive traffic to it just like you would your YouTube channel. All right, options are many, and I'm just going to go through these real quick because I know I have a ton of content and I want to make sure that I give you. I'm having trouble with my little clicker. Hang on. Yeah. There we go. Oh. There we go. Okay, we're going to get this. Hang on, guys. Options are many. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with Facebook Live. All right, stop. All right. So you can do 2 or more party broadcasts, which is pretty cool. There's some tools out there now, like BeLive.tv is a great one where you can pull in your audience now, which, like I say, is incredible. There's pre-scheduling. You can go live from your desktop. Tons of third-party tools out there. Snapchat-like filters, sorry. There's a lot of I broke this into 2 categories: broadcasting from your phone, Facebook app, the Mentions app, the Live Air Solo, Be Live, Smile Time, Wirecast, and then how do you broadcast from your desktop? Because I think a lot of times people they would feel more comfortable in front of their computers, right? So you can do that now with the Facebook app, Mentions app, or the Facebook, going live on your Facebook profile. The BeLive.tv is a great option. BlueJeans.com, eCam.com, Apple only. That's a really nifty little platform. If you haven't checked it out and you do have an Apple, definitely check it out. OBS Project is free. It's a little bit techy, so I don't find it super intuitive, but like I say, it is free. And then, of course, the higher end option is Wirecast. I know a lot of people, when we first started broadcasting, just bit the bullet and bought it. I don't think it's necessary now. There's so many other third-party tools out there that you can get around having to use a higher end version of a higher end tool. There's also the monetization that's coming. So a lot of times people ask, well, how do you make money with this? I think this is a fascinating thing because Facebook is running out of ad space. In fact, they're very vocal about the fact that they have run out of ad space. So we're going to see ads in other places on Facebook because guess what, guys? They're not going to stop taking our money. That's just not going to happen. So we're going to probably ultimately see video ads just like YouTube has. We'll probably see ads in our groups and before too much longer. And it's going to be really interesting to see how they continue to monetize the platform. And the biggie, though, and this is what I really want to stress on, I think a lot of times we stress over one more thing. Anybody stress over one more thing? You hear live video or you hear, I got a Snapchat. Snapchat's the latest thing. Or, it depends on what platform is the new hot thing that everybody's talking about. You think you have to jump on it. And so it's always one more thing. So one of the things I want to talk to you about real quick is leveraging the power of live video as your content engine. Don't make it one more thing. Make it the thing. Start with the live video. We all know our stuff. 5 ways to do X. Use that content. Go live and turn it into a blog post. Take your tweetable moments. That's what I call it. Your little snippets. We all say nuggets, that you can pull out and use as tile quotes for Facebook, Instagram, etc. You can actually take a live video and turn it into 100, 200 pieces of content for everything else that you do. Instead of worrying about creating content for your Facebook Live in addition to everything else you're doing, which is what most people think. That's how they think of it. So don't make live video one more thing. Make it the thing. Because it's just a fantabulous way. That's my word of the day. Fantabulous way to build deeper relationships. And why is that important? I said it before and you've heard it from other people. People buy from those they know, like, and trust. And I've never seen a faster path to the know, like, and trust factor than live video. But enter the problem. That sounds good, right? Sounds good. But I still I'm not sure I can do that. I don't have time. My nose is shiny today. I haven't put my makeup on. How many of you guys have not done a live stream because you don't have makeup on? Or worse yet, and Vicki can probably relate to this, you go live and you realize your hair is sticking up. Yes. So it's a problem. And probably a lot of you are like, well, yeah, I need this. Like I need a hole in the head. And you just rubbing those hands together because you can't wait to start. But the big thing, like I said before, is what's in it for you. The reality is you have a blog, you have a Facebook page, you have Twitter, you have Instagram, you list building, selling stuff, and it's a lot of stuff. And you just want to pull your hair out, right? So like I said, don't make live video one more thing for you. I got to step it up. Enter the solution. Like I said, you can literally spend 20 to 30 minutes creating a live stream and then turn it into content for all of those things. Your blog, all of your social platforms. You'll no longer be searching for someone else's quotes because you'll have your own, right? So you can literally turn 30 minutes of time into content for everything, and you'll have a seamless message across all of your social platforms. So unfortunately, a lot of people don't approach it from this perspective, but I think if you did this, then life would be so much easier for all of us, and that's why I really wanted to focus on it. So the path to profit starts with serving up value-based content. And that's true regardless of whether it's live video or it's anything. It has to be value-based to the end user, the end reader, the end viewer, whatever. So again, what if you came up with just that one great idea and just leveraged the heck out of it? So let's talk about Facebook Messenger. Facebook Messenger is hot right now. How many of you guys have been hearing a lot of stuff about Facebook Messenger? 900 million active users. Chat has overtaken text, which I think is fascinating. Messenger and plus WhatsApp has 60 billion messages a day. That's a B. That's a day. I mean, think about that for a second. That has to sink in. WhatsApp and Messenger, Facebook, the top three. Who owns the top three? Facebook. I tell you guys, and a lot of times even though Messenger is kind of, I think here in the U.S. in particular, is kind of a new concept from the standpoint of monetizing it, but other countries have been using messaging apps already in some really cool, innovative ways. They'll text their or message their butcher down on the corner, hey, I need these cuts of meat, and they'll be ready and waiting when they get there, or hair appointments, and right now you can actually collect money through messengers and send money through Messenger. So I'm just predicting this is going to be a huge opportunity for us. Messenger bots. How many of you guys have experienced a Messenger bot? All right. Right now, I think they're messy from the standpoint of the end user not really understanding how to set them up. They're not intuitive, I don't think. But they're incredibly powerful. Basically, it's just an automated conversation based on some, kind of intelligent guesswork on your part. And I've seen some fabulous ones, and I've seen some really, really crappy ones, too. I won't even lie about that. But basically, it interacts. In fact, I got a message on one of my posts that said, hey, I thought I was having a great conversation with Joel Comm yesterday, and I got a message back to donate to the charity. I'm assuming it's the water charity, but I thought that was fascinating because they thought they were talking to Joel at the time. That's the whole intent, though, right? It's that automated conversation to where you can take them to the one-on-one conversations. And frankly, let's talk about that real quick. I think we're shifting from just disseminating information and letting people consume it. I think the way that social is working is people have kind of been there, done that. They're over that. They want to talk to someone. I think the power of the one-on-one conversation is going to be very impactful for us. But how do you scale that? How do you filter it down to where you actually can spend the time with that one person? And I think that's where the Messenger chat is going to come in big time. So Messenger is where people are hanging out right now. That's the other beautiful thing. People don't like to leave Facebook. They're very comfortable there. And this means, of course, that you can interact and engage with them obviously on the platform that they prefer. It's very popular. Like I said, 2 billion messages. I think this is an important thing. It's a conversational commerce. Again, I think that's big, the power of that one-on-one relationship. There's a huge untapped resource right now. They're fairly new, like I say. I mean, Messenger's been around forever, but the concept of the Messenger bots are fairly new to most businesses, and they've barely scratched the surface. So it's a great way to, stand out, get in early on something that I think is probably going to be really big. Here's a couple of examples. Snap Travel. Really pay attention to what's in red. In under a year, Snap Travel drove over 1 million in hotel bookings using Messenger. This gal, Runtastic Fitness Bot, she uses custom workouts to, and she does it right through the bot. So she sends those videos. You can send videos. You can send text. You can send links. And it can all be automated based on the responses or the information that you solicit from them. Very cool. This is pretty fascinating to me, too. This is in the insurance company. I had no idea that so many people bought insurance online. I thought that was... But 70% of Next customers are buying insurance on their phones, not just online, on their phones. And enabling customers to buy insurance through a chatbot on Facebook Messenger just makes it easy for them. It's a simple way for them to get answers to questions, get comfortable with making the buying decision. Domino's Pizza, probably one of the first to adopt the messengers, but they're both Domino's and 1-800-Flowers is doing incredible amounts of business using the messenger bots. I have a friend, Jason Swank. I don't know, anybody in the room know Jason Swank? There we go, yes. He connected his contact me on his website. So now when someone uses that contact button on his website, it goes straight to Messenger. The last time I talked to him, which has been about a month and a half ago, he had created about $100K in sales from one-on-one conversations with people through his contact page. Anybody want to say, wowzers? That's pretty amazing, I think. Facebook ads. I really and honestly intentionally didn't spend a whole lot of time with Facebook ads because I knew Andrea was going to talk about Facebook ads. But I want to really stress a couple of things to you guys. And this is the biggie. Snap that. Facebook ads are like an ATM machine. You do have to know how to use them. But they're incredible, guys. You can put your offer in exactly the right buyer's in front of the right buyer's eyeballs. So I can't find enough money to spend on Facebook ads, frankly. Once you find the magic, conversions for what's working for you, trust me, you will spend, you won't be able to spend enough money. I mean, it's like putting money in and, getting, anywhere from 10 to 20 times what you put in. It's really incredible. So, and nothing else really compares to Facebook ads. I've tried Pinterest ads. I've tried, Twitter ads. I haven't found anything that converts like Facebook ads. And they're getting more expensive all the time, so you better get your foot in there. Retargeting, guys, she talked about it. It's the bomb diggity. There's other things like custom audiences, lookalike audiences. If you use your email list, for example, import it into Facebook, and Facebook will create a lookalike audience of people who have similar traits to the people that are on your email list. It's amazing. So now you have a whole bunch of new eyeballs that you probably didn't even, obviously weren't on your list, but that you can target with your offer. So there's so many incredible things that ultimately come out of Facebook ads. Facebook groups are also not only effective, but growing in popularity. How many of you guys have a Facebook group? Okay, I thought I'd go over them real quick because I think there's advantages to Facebook groups that those of you who may be struggling with your Facebook fan page, this might be an opportunity for you. Using Facebook groups is one of the easiest ways to establish your expertise, build a tribe to serve that you can connect and build relationships with. A couple of things that are kind of tough, today is to get in front of those fans. We've talked about that, and I know Andrea talked about that. Free reach is, I don't think it's totally impossible, but it is more difficult, and it's getting more difficult as Facebook continues to tighten up that algorithm. But comments from the fans are in the sidebar, but, it's again, whoever looks there, right? Nobody ever does. Pages don't encourage community participation. It's not impossible, like I said, to do it for free, but it's definitely getting tougher to do. And if you're brand new with a Facebook fan page, it can be really tough. So without spending money. So I want to talk about three types of impact groups that anybody can start and most importantly profit from. So who's here to make money? All right. So one, start a movement, build a community. And I've got a couple of examples of people who've done this very effectively and what they're doing, not only how they've done it, but I've got 3 examples to show you, but how they've done it, I think that's more important than ultimately, the concept of building these groups out. Okay, that's great. They built this community of, like 50,000 people, but how? How did they do it? So we're going to focus on the how. So, let me back up just for a second. How many of you guys have heard of the 9 to 5, Screw the 9 to 5 community on Facebook? If you haven't checked them out, they're they're amazing, actually. They're doing a lot of cool things from a group perspective in particular. And I'm fascinated always to kind of pay attention to what other people are doing and, watch how they monetize things. So they have built a huge free Facebook group. So they started a movement around screw the 9 to 5. I mean, is that about as clear as you can get, right? So they started a movement. It's free. Last I saw, over 43,000 members, which is pretty amazing. They do live interviews or trainings once a week inside of the group, usually through Facebook Live. Daily themed engagement posts, which can be anything from, hey, promote your website to, I've seen them do all kinds of things. I think they have about 30 days worth of types of things that they rotate through. Strong rules, and they abide. Everybody knows what the rules are, and if they don't abide by them, they kick them out. So I think rules are huge and very important to make sure that you state those. This is my friend Marcy Budwick. She started I did a VIP day with her, probably 2 years ago, and I gave her the idea of using a Facebook group, and she just took it and ran with it. She created createdwomen.com. She donates $11.11 for every single purchase to this wonderful ministry about empowering women. She does much of her business through a local perspective. So if you are, a small brick and mortar, or you're maybe not even online, or you could be online. But I think it's fascinating the way she's done this from a local perspective. So she started an empowering movement, because a lot of what she does, even though she is a designer, a clothing designer, much of what she does inside of her group is all about empowerment. I mean, and building that community around the concept of moms who don't feel comfortable in their clothing. She's been really big about, and that's true for a lot of us, right? We feel like we're, I guess I get the dummy, But so she really embraces that messaging and loves up on the women that she serves. It's free. She has, 4,400 local members. She does the live videos, and she does them a couple of days a week where she is styling her clothes. It's not just about showcasing her clothes. She shows you how to wear them, maybe with jewelry and, different things. She's just cute as a button. She shows the pictures as well, different types of fabrics, etc. Daily posts. She loves up her community. They have meetups occasionally, and this is her showcasing. Isn't she adorable? So me and my friend Jilly Sue, I bet some of you guys know Jilly Sue. Anybody? She does a lot of live videos. She's in direct sales. She's built a great little community as well. She started a girl boss movement for direct sellers. It's free, live video, education, training, embraces their struggles and moves them forward. Daily post, etc. She has rules, and she's very strict with her rules. Number 3, Jilly Sue. You want me to go back? All right, hang on. One too many. So her name is Jilly Sue. Social Super Group is the name of her group. And she's training direct sellers the girl boss way to market on social media. All right, let me scroll through these real quick. But this is the big message here. They build a tribe of their buyers, guys. So they build a tribe of their buyers in a closed group where they can serve them. So they serve that tribe, and guess what happens? They start stacking up the Benjamins, because they serve that community. They serve for free. People get a chance to know them, etc. So private support groups are another type of groups for your paid products or services. Many of you have probably bought a product or service where you get access to a free group, right? How many of you guys? Okay. These are great way. It's a great opportunity to work directly with you. It can be a selling point because a lot of people like access directly to the creator of the course. It's a small group of people just like them. And, you know, you can do like even daily, this is the third type of group. I call them temporary groups. And more specifically, to quote my friend Amy Porterfield, a pop-up group. Those are literally temporary. Keep calm, it's temporary. So affiliate launches are a great way to leverage the power of a pop-up group. I saw Amy Porterfield do this with when she was doing the marketing for B-School. She had a 30-day free group. It was access to her exclusive content, etc. I did a 30-day list building challenge. I learned a lot. Now I'm rolling this 30-day list building challenge into my inner circle. But I tested it for free. And then the third one is, you know, launches that you might want to do some sort of a limited time on. You know, maybe you have some sort of a VIP option where you give them access for a limited amount of time. That way it's not open forever and you're not committed to forever. So those are three great ideas on groups. So a few things though to remember in closing, guys. This isn't about social media at all. So if you think you're here to learn about social media, I mean, it's all a part of the process, but it's really about attracting, building, and serving a connected community. And when I say connected community, I mean, it's not just about you talking to people. It's about them talking to each other. Community is bigger than you know, but if you can foster the environment, whether it's through a group, whether it's through a page, or ultimately anywhere in social where people start to engage with one another and form relationships with one another, then you have a true community, which I think a lot of people get sidelined by that. They think it's all about, you know, just being able to talk to people themselves. It's really just about, it's much bigger than that from a community standpoint. And people will connect with you around something that matters to them way before they connect around your product or service, because the reality is they don't care about our products or services, guys, especially not out the gate. It's not about you. It's all about them, and they know it. We have lots of choices today, guys. And if you don't matter, they're not going to probably pay attention. So people are social. They're on social to connect, maybe with family, to friends, to memories. How many of you guys get on Facebook and before you know it, you're looking at your neighbor's kid's birthday party, and you're like, or worse yet, you're watching somebody who you don't even know, and you're going through their photo album. Has that happened? Right? Something catches your eye. My husband was looking at some pictures the other day, and I'm like, who's that? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, seriously? But we do it. I shouldn't even have bashed him because I've been guilty too. But yes, right? But the pictures are great, so yeah. So to friends, to entertainment, to news, ultimately to things that matter to them. So to use social media right, you have to be someone who matters to them. And I think that's critical. So come from your place of authenticity. Again, it starts back at circles back to what I said at the beginning. You have to be who you are. You have to show up and be okay with that. If you connect and serve people, you will ultimately win in the social space. So do this, and you will not only build a profitable business, but this is the important part. You can actually change lives. I mean, I don't know what is any more powerful than coming to an event like this and having people. I actually have that much time? Seriously? Oh my gosh. I said I was going to talk fast, but I didn't know I was seriously talking fast. But there is nothing more impactful for somebody who truly has a servant-based heart than to come to an event like this and have someone tell them that they've made a difference in their business. That is like gold to me, and I'd be willing to bet you that any speaker here will tell you the same thing. And or getting a message. I've actually had this happen where I share a lot of inspiration on social media, and I've had people contact me and say, I was getting ready to harm myself until I saw something you posted. I mean, that that is like big. That's big. You can't even compare that to anything else. That's big. So you just don't know when you share something on social media how it's going to impact someone else. And I know sometimes people get wrapped up around sharing their stories. Well, nobody cares about my story. How many of you guys have felt like that from time to time? And you know, I think lots of times we get wrapped up in the big story and reluctant in some cases to share it. The value of a story, honestly, is that there's somebody out there who needs and or has a similar story or needs to know they're not alone in that journey, you know? But the bigger thing, honestly, for all of us, and I think we should be aware of, is there's stories every day. There's small stories each and every day that we could be struggling. Maybe we put on our makeup that morning and, you know, the powder just didn't go on. We had a big cake. How many of us have had that? Oh, man, look, this is a big brown spot. Somebody out there's had that happen. I know that's a ridiculous example, but the point is that every day there is small stories for us to share in the social space that someone out there needs to feel like, wow, she's having that struggle, or wow, she's having that success. If she's doing that, wow, maybe I could do that. Or if he's doing that, wow, maybe I can do that. So don't be afraid to share those things, guys, because you can change lives. In ways that you didn't even think that you could. So now it's all about you going out and taking what you've learned here into your businesses. One thing I did forget to mention, and I'll share it real quick, messenger chatbots are the hot new thing. A lot of people are talking about them, and I just completed a brand new ebook on how to use them in your business. So if you guys, unfortunately I didn't get it on the slide, but I'm going to give you the link. It's kimgarst.com/SM Day Denver. The S, the M, the D, both D's are capitalized. Everything else is lowercase. So sorry I didn't have it on the slides, but so it's a like I say, brand new. I just completed it last week about how to leverage the power of messenger bots in your business. So hopefully you can go grab that. Yes, it's kimgarst.com/SM Day, so social media day Denver. Oh, it doesn't matter if, don't even stress over. Good, thank you. So who knew? I didn't know. Excellent. So don't stress over the capitalization. Evidently it works. Somebody on my tech team must have thought of that. All right, does anybody have any questions? I might have caught us back up. Hi. Thank you so much for your talk. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Kim. So my question is about balancing your time between your Facebook page and your Facebook groups. And do you fear that the groups are just going through a trend and they're going to become ghost towns? How do you make that call?
Well, I don't really have a free group where I spend a lot of my time. I have my inner circle, which is a paid membership. They have a dashboard on the back end, but there's a group that supports that, which is honestly where everything happens. You know, everybody communicates and engages there. So the majority of my time is spent there. Now, that said, I had to reel it in. I had to, because I was spending a lot of time answering questions. And again, it goes back to what I said about the community. And, if you as the owner of a group, when you first start a group, you do have to be very active. But if the group grows and you have other people that know stuff too, you need to give them a chance. Because if you go in and answer a question, 10 hot seconds after somebody posts, because you got the notification, you go answer the question. I've done it. Then the community as a whole doesn't have a chance to really step up. So I have set boundaries for myself. I go in once a day, usually first thing in the morning, and then, let everybody else. It's amazing now that I've done that. The community as a whole has stepped up, and lots of times they just help each other. They answer each other's questions, and I don't even have to add an answer to, whatever. I don't have to answer the question they ask. So there is value in boundaries, but again, getting started, you do have to invest in the group. Hope that answered that question. Yeah. Matt, did you have a question?
How does one get over 500,000 Twitter followers, and how long does something like that take? Can you even still do it nowadays?
Absolutely. Twitter is actually easier, I think, to grow than Facebook is. So I started actively growing, and I know the exact date of my Twitter following because I didn't get Twitter. I'd go and how many of you guys remember when it auto refreshed? So annoying. I'm reading that. Hello. And it flies up the screen. So it was so annoying to me. I didn't like it. But then when I decided I was going to do social media for others, I'm like, I got to figure this out. Which led me to really digging in. Twitter is one of my favorite platforms now, but honestly, it's the best. And please listen to this, guys. Anybody in here like traffic to their blog, to their landing pages, to their content? It's the best traffic. Let me restate this. The best free traffic source I've ever seen. I've owned an online business for 26 years. I've spent a lot of money in a lot of places. Banner ads back in the day. We got banner blindness now. But I've never seen a better free traffic source than Twitter. It drove about 1 million clicks to my website last year. So it is a huge. But to specifically answer your question, I do have a growth strategy around Twitter. I also use Twitter to build my fan base. So I have a landing page on my fan page. One of my free offers is built out on a tab on my Facebook page, and I use that to share on Twitter and other social platforms. So I call that a twofer. When they follow the link to that landing page on Facebook, many of them will actually like my fan page. So now I got a new fan, I got a new opt-in, simply by leveraging both platforms against each other, using Twitter to drive traffic to that. You can do it in the reverse too, interestingly enough. So if you have a bigger Facebook audience, you can use it to drive traffic to your Twitter account. I know some people will tell you not to hey, don't share the same content. The reality is, guys, Twitter, moves so quickly. The lifespan of a tweet's 30 seconds. The chances of somebody seeing content on Facebook and seeing it again on Twitter and on Instagram and people consume content in different places at different times. So don't get wrapped up in trying to make unique content for every platform. Leverage the heck out of the one great idea. All right? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you so much.
Here.